I'm not preaching today. Dave is, the silver fox. Are you coming up, Dave? There's no Bible here. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. We thought we were organised.
We've got to do a skit first.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to turn the lights down. Oh, okay. Didn't know about this.
Hey, bud, what are you doing in the dark?
Just catching up on a bit of reading.
You thought about turning the light on?
Yeah, but it's dark. I can't read some of the words on this page.
Well, turn the light on then.
Yes, I do believe that the lights are working.
Well, turn them on.
I don't need to turn the light on to prove that it works. Thank you very much. I believe that they work.
You're in the dark. Turn them on.
I don't think you understand, Dave. I do believe the light works. I understand the basics of basic household wiring. I know that if I flip the switch, the light will turn on.
Then turn the light on so you can read better.
Okay, I'm going to leave now. I don't like being talked down to. How dare you question my faith? Turn the light on. I don't have to prove my faith to anyone. I'm glad I'm leaving. It's too dark to read in here anyway.
That's a skit.
There's a bit of a point there, isn't there? Okay. Dave's just asked me to read what he's going to be talking about today. Where are we? This one here. Okay. We've got golf rules in the Bible. Yeah. Scorecards. I don't know if he's got it all right. So we're talking on James 2. Let's go back to here. 14 to 26. And if any of you know Dave, he's very reluctant to get up here and preach. And always when the teaching team get together, he's always hoping that he's not required. Lyle, hello. Lyle de Villiers is down there, people, if you haven't seen her yet. Yay, welcome. All the way from Perth.
Lucky day.
Lucky day. Yeah. So Dave is always very, very reluctant. But what I do know is that he puts the work in. And what I do know is that he will be thinking about it weeks upon weeks upon weeks beforehand. So I'm hoping that you'll get a little nugget today, as he likes to call them, that God drops something into his heart to share with you. So faith and deeds. What good is it, my brothers, if a man claims to have faith but no deeds? Can such faith save him? Suppose a brother or sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to him, "Go, I wish you well, keep warm and well fed," but does nothing about his physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. But someone will say, "You have faith and I have deeds. Show me your faith without deeds, and I will show you my faith by what I do. You believe that there is one God. Good. Even the demons believe that. Shudder. You foolish man. Do you want evidence that faith without deeds is useless? Was not our ancestor Abraham considered righteous for what he did when he offered his son Isaac on the altar? You see that his faith and his actions were working together, and his faith was made complete by what he did. And the scripture was fulfilled that says, Abraham believed God, and it was credited to him as righteousness, and he was called God's friend. You see, that as a person is justified by what he does and not by faith alone. In the same way, was not even Rahab, the prostitute, considered righteous for what she did, giving lodgings to the spies and then sending them off in a different direction? As the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without deeds is dead. Right, Dave, it's over to you. Shall I get your pages in number order? Let me just see if they're in order. We know Dave. Right. Good luck.
Rude. So, who wants to start off with a little allegory? Okay. For the sake of this allegory, first of all, imagine you've all got a free ticket to a lottery, and you win. And the prize is the best vehicle in the world. This prize is a Toyota Hilux. And the salesman, for the sake of this allegory, is Jesus. The Hilux itself is your salvation. Okay? So you go to pick up your Hilux on the day, and the salesman says to you, "So, lucky guy, you're woman. You going to take it then? Congratulations." You go, "Actually, about that, I was wondering if you could just keep it here for a couple of weeks because I'm going on holiday. And when I get back, I'll come get it." You go, "Okay, that's fine." So 3 weeks goes by, and you haven't picked it up. The salesman phones you and says, "About the Hilux, when are you coming in?" "Well, you see, it's raining, and I don't want to get it wet and dirty." And the salesman says, "But it's a Hilux. You can take it in the bush. You can go off-road. You can go, it's designed for this." You go, "Oh, no. I do not want to get it dirtied on the very first day. Thank you very much. If you can just keep it there for a wee while longer." So another week or two goes by. The salesman goes, "I think I get it. What I think you should do is take it on a long road trip. Get used to it. It's got a great stereo. Just get used to it. Road trip." And you go, "Oh, no. See, it might break down." And he goes, "No, it's not going to break down. It's a mighty Hilux." "Look," you say, "this is getting too much for me. Will you just give it to somebody else?" Conversely, there's a dude, and he picks up his Hilux. He uses it exactly the way it's supposed to be. Puts 300,000 on it. And towards the end of it, his journey, his life, he decides to go through the Woodhill forests. In the evening, crashes through, drops the tailgate, looks out over the west coast, sun setting. Guess what? Toyota salesman turns up. Yeah. And he goes, "Whoa, look at the state of your truck, man." You go, Yeah. "She's been used all right." And he goes, "Use the tow bar much?" "Oh, yeah, use the tow bar a lot. A lot of people got stuck. Had to pull along. Winch, you used winch much?" "Oh, yeah, a lot of people got really stuck. And I really had to help them out big time. Use that quite a bit." "What about the nudge bar?" That got used the most. Just nudge people along, And he goes, you know what? The body looks pretty battered and bruised. And I said, yeah. My salvation's a bit like that. My faith is a bit like that. But hey, made it through. And you know what the salesman did? He says, you know what you need? I'm going to give you a brand new Mercedes-Benz truck. No, I'm not. Why would I do that? Of course I'm going to give you another brand new Hilux. He wouldn't do that to us. So, it follows that if Abraham was counted righteous because of his faith and works, it's got to follow that if we receive our salvation and don't work it out, then we don't have salvation at all. Jesus said in Matthew 7:21, he's made it quite clear. He says, on that day, many will say, Lord, Lord. And he'll say, depart from me, I never knew you. The Bible is mostly an account of God's desire to bring us into a relationship with him. He decided to set apart a people, eventually a nation, who would honor him, and then in turn bless them so that they would be an example to the surrounding nations and the world of the benefit of being in covenant with him. His promise to Abraham was that his descendants would inherit the land of Canaan, where he wandered as a foreigner. And he gave them a bunch of mandates to follow that were designed to set them apart from the surrounding nations, mainly circumcision and sacrifice. I want to talk about covenant first. So God says to Abraham, look, I'm going to make a great nation out of you. And Abraham says, well, I'm kind of pushing 100 and my wife's not far behind. How's that going to happen? He said, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. It's going to be okay. I'll work it out. And then he goes, well, so you're going to give me this land, this little strip of land there. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. And there'll be hostiles to the north, to the northeast, to the east, to the south. Well, it's good he didn't tell them that actually his descendants were going to be slaves there from the south for 400 years. But he left that one out. That's coming. And then there's a sea to the left. He says, yeah, it'll be enough for you. I'm enough for you. You'll be fine. Trust me. And then Abraham might have said, and what about the last part? I'm just a bit sketchy on that. You want me to cut the end off my what? Sacrifice. So the child of promise comes along, and God says to Abraham, I think we should do this. Imagine God now is from the south. Abraham, go get your boy. And, and I want you to make sacrifice out of him. Oh, yeah? What's that like? Oh, you need to kill that boy. At this point, he'd be going, I'm not sure I got that right. I can put probably about 110 now. And, you know, when I was a kid, I used to read these children's Bible stories. And I remember this picture vividly. And there's Isaac, and he's all bundled up on a bunch of sticks. And then Abraham's got this great big knife, and he's just about ready to kill him. And then God says, no, Abraham, don't do that. Actually, before that, Isaac said to him, where's the sacrifice, Dad? He goes, Jehovah Jireh, God will provide. And at that point, there was a ram that was caught by its horns in a little thicket. And so Abraham was obviously quite fortunately able to make that a sacrifice. And so my point is that the Jews understand covenant and sacrifice very well. What they don't quite understand yet is that on that very hill where Abraham was going to sacrifice his son is the very hill that Jesus did go to his death. And God didn't spare his own child. And that penny will drop for them at some point. When they look upon, I always remember that bit when Pilate says, I don't want to kill this man, he's innocent. And they said, no, crucify. He says, no, I'm going to need to wash my hands of this. And they said, fine, let his blood be on us and our children's children. So there'll be a point when they look upon him who they slay. There'll be a point, and they'll mourn for him as a woman that's just given birth to a stillborn child. But that is yet to come. So, when I think of the fledgling nation of Israel, which had grown to over 1 million people, miraculously rescued from slavery, and eventually inheriting the land God promised Abraham, I have to concede, vis-a-vis the 40 years it took them to achieve an 11-day journey, that metaphorically, they're a lot like us. Jesus said in Matthew 15:8, these people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far away. They worship me in vain. Their teachings are rules taught by men. And a lot of religions are like that. There's a lot of rules just taught by men. Getting back to circumcision, the true intent was spiritual. It was physical, but also a spiritual circumcision of the heart. It demands humility, faith, hope, and charity. Humility being not only the right judgment of ourselves, but submitting our ego at the feet of Jesus and simply declaring, not my will, but yours be done. Love justice, do mercy, and walk humbly before the Lord your God. That is actually a command, not a suggestion. God is not really interested in condemning us, but to strengthen us. It says somewhere that his eyes are constantly looking across the world to see who he can strengthen. He just wants us to get better so that we can be all who he's designed to be before the foundation of the world, for his glory, his kingdom, forever and ever. Amen. That went a lot quicker than I expected. There is if the musicians would like to come back, perhaps, there is a footnote here. And it's in the East Tennessee New Abridged Version. It's from Ephesians 6:8. Know that the Lord will reward everyone for whatever good they do. I don't care who you are. That's it. God bless you all.